I'm at the Meadows Festival today. It's been a great day of live music here. I've got Craig, Kevin, Adam and Fraser from the band Fidra, is that right?
That's right.
Fidra, can you tell me a little bit about the band, Craig, and how the band formed?
Yeah, so I suppose we kind of formed in lockdown. So it was in that kind of period when, you know, nobody could play together. So I was sort of working on a bit of a new project, started writing a few songs, and I recorded a few things myself, and it was fine, it was good. But then I think we got to the point where everyone could come out of the house again, and, you know, we could all sort of get together. So I'd played in bands with a few of these guys, or like sort of pals of mine that played a bit of music. So basically, kind of had the pick of like musicians I thought were interesting, and so everyone kind of brings a bit of a different thing to the band. So eventually, sort of got everyone in the room, and the magic happened, I guess. I mean, at full strength, there's about 7 of us, so we've got like a fiddle player as well, and a couple more vocalists. So it's kind of quite eclectic, but, you know, basically kind of bringing together people that kind of play in an interest. I mean, you heard Adam's guitar style. It's like he doesn't just go for the kind of your standard chords. He does something a bit different. So yeah, that's sort of where we kind of brought it all together. And yeah.
Where did the name Fidra come from then? Was it
It's an island. It's an island in the Firth of Forth. So it was probably because of the sort of lockdown thing that when you could all you could really do with your time was go for walks. You know, I would go out walking along the bless you. I was going walking along the Forth coastline, and Fidra was always there out in the sea, and so it was kind of quite a sort of, I suppose, a calming place, and it was sort of quite inspirational, I suppose. And so I wrote a song called Fidra. I went into the studio and recorded it, and we're like, right, what are we going to call the band? And the sound engineer was like, I thought the band was called Fidra. And we're like, no, that's the song. He's like, we should call the band that. And that's what we did.
How would you describe your music?
So, I think I would describe it as Scottish folk, but the lineup sort of informs exactly what kind of style we play. So today, when it's kind of 2 electric guitars, bass and drums, 2 vocals, we do much more of a kind of, let's say, sort of folk rock kind of thing, I guess. But then we have other setups with fiddle and harmonium and things, then it's a bit more kind of trad. So I'd say Scottish folk, verging on the trad and verging on the sort of Neil Young side of things on the other side.
So who's the creative one of the band? Do you all collaborate together as a band, or is it you the main songwriter of the band?
We collaborate. I mean, I tend to write most of the songs. I'll sort of come up with kind of my bits, and then I'll bring it to the rest of the band. And, you know, if you guys want to talk about your creative processes, obviously, you know.
Well, you gave me a creative instruction once when we were recording the EP. He asked me to take a song to the moon. So that's exactly what my contribution was.
I'll write a folk song and Adam makes it weird.
Thanks, Adam. So where have you performed then? Have you performed in a lot of different venues over the country, or?
Yeah, we've done quite a lot. We're usually around the Central Belt. We did cut the connections earlier this year, but we're about to head off on a little Highland tour, so we'll be all around the country. But we were in Knockengorrick a couple of weeks ago, so we're hopefully going to get to the South and the North. Yeah.
Excellent. So if you could open a show for any artist, who would it be? You know, whether it's a songwriter or band.
Oh, that's a hard one. I'd say, let's say Corinne Bowler. So if she's listening, pick us up, Corinne.
What about yourself, Kevin?
Chris Stephen as well, I guess.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Adam?
It's got to be these guys, clearly.
Crazy station. What about you, Fraser?
I would say Sufjan Stevens.
Who?
Sufjan Stevens.
Alright. Excellent. Right, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what networks are you all on?
We're on Instagram's the main one. We're on Facebook. We're technically on Twitter, but don't really go on there much. If you find us on Instagram, that's the main one, or our website's fidramusic.com.
You just released a single for Palestine as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's called None Left for Sorrow. It was written, I guess, in response to the sort of the lack of humanity that some people show in relation to the occupation of Palestine and everything that's going on there. And so we thought, we've written this song, we thought, well, let's try and do something worthwhile. while with it, so we're raising money for medical aid for Palestinians off of that. So all the money, make a donation, whatever, all the money goes to medical aid for Palestinians.
Right. Well, thanks very much for your time, Craig, Kevin, Adam, and Fraser. Fidra, I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.